Okay, we're rolling.
This is an interview at the Hampton Inn, Johnson City, New York. It is the 18th of May, 2004, approximately 9 a.m. Interviewers are Wayne Clark and Mike Russert. Could you give me your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Howard G. Houghtalen. That's Houghtalen. Date of birth 6/15/19.
And where were you born?
And Binghamton.
Okay. What was your educational background prior to entering service?
I had 2 years of college.
Okay. Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
Okay. You were drafted in April of 41?
Please.
I see from here, yes. Where were you inducted?
Syracuse.
And where did you go for basic training?
Our basic training was right in the outfit we went to, which was 102nd Separate Battalion.
And you said this was an anti-aircraft unit.
That's correct.
Where did you do your training?
At that base. We never went to a basic training.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So you stayed right in Syracuse area?
No,
Oh.
no. It was Camp Edwards.
Where is that?
Massachusetts.
Oh.
Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
All right, so that's where you stayed for all of your training. You were assigned to a unit right away.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. And what kind of training did you receive? You must have received some kind of specialized training then.
Well, we did the basic training there, which was foot drills and stuff, and then we went right on to anti-aircraft training.
What kind of weapons did you train on?
We trained on 37 millimeter anti-aircraft.
Now, were you like a coastal defense unit at the time?
We were what they call a separate battalion. They had one in each army, and it was called separate because we could be attached to any unit for defense purposes.
Okay. Now I noticed on the form you filled out, you said initially you were a machine gunner, then you went to the 40 millimeter anti-aircraft gun?
That's correct.
What kind of machine guns did you work with?
50 caliber.
How did you like that weapon?
It's still a good weapon today.
And then you went to 40 millimeter anti-aircraft guns. Now, you were in the service prior to Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Do you remember where you were and your reaction when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
We had just returned from southern maneuvers to Camp Edwards, where our base was.
Where were these maneuvers?
In North Carolina.
Okay. And how did you hear about Pearl Harbor and what was your reaction?
We heard it over the radio at the base camp.
Do you remember the reaction of yourself and the others around you?
Yes, we're kind of stunned, and I was scheduled to go on furlough for Christmas, and I figured that was out the window. Okay.
Where was your unit stationed along the coast then?
No, our base camp was in Camp Edwards, Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Okay, so did you have any heightened security or anything like that?
Yes, we had a double of guards on all the areas in this camp.
Okay. When did you? I noticed you ended up going out to the Pacific.
Yes.
When did you go to the Pacific?
That was in February of '42.
All right. Could you tell us about your going from the East Coast then to the Pacific? How did you get there? And
we went from Camp Edwards out to San Francisco on the troop train.
Now, did you take all your weapons and everything with you on the trains?
No, our, as I say, we trained on 37 millimeter
Right.
anti-aircraft. They were taken away as soon as the war started. They put them on merchant marine ships, and we became a 50 caliber machine gun outfit. And the machine guns were supplied to us at the harbor. We loaded them on a ship ourselves.
Yeah, okay. What kind of ship did you get on?
It was a Smithsonian luxury liner that was converted into a troop ship.
Mm-hmm. All right, so your entire unit loaded on the ship. How many men in your unit?
About 500.
All right. Did you take a convoy, or was it a single ship?
No, there was two ships, three ships. There was Smithsonian, which we were on, and their sister ship to Monterey, and the freighter. And we were escorted by a destroyer for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Where was your destination?
Australia.
Okay. How did you like the trip?
Boring.
What did you do to try and entertain yourselves on the trip?
We just tried to get as much air as possible because we were in an enclosed deck and it was kind of stifling.
Mm-hmm. Were you able to go up on the decks often, or?
Yes, we on our own deck.
Mm-hmm. How was the food on the ship?
Food wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm. Did you have to eat in shifts or rotate in shifts eating, or?
We just lined up and took our turns going into the, well, we call it a mess hall, but
Mm-hmm.
the dining room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how long did it take you to reach Australia?
18 days.
Where did you go when you got to Australia?
We landed in Brisbane, and 2 days later I was on a plane headed for Darwin, Australia.
And that's where you were in a camp?
No, we were set up tactical. We were protecting an airstrip that would belong to the Royal Australian Air Force.
Mm-hmm. Now, was this your whole unit, or just were parts of you spread out, or?
Parts. We were all split up. Some of us went with a captain that was from D Battery, and we were assigned to what they call RAF Field, Royal Australian Air Force Base in Darwin.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long were you in Australia?
I think we left Townsville in December of 42.
Mm-hmm. Where did you go?
New Guinea.
All right. Now, did you still have the 50 caliber machine guns?
No, when we went down to Townsville, Australia, we regrouped, and we were furnished 40 millimeter anti-aircraft guns.
Mm-hmm. Now, were these on a vehicle, or how were they towed around?
They were trailered.
A trailer? Okay. And what did you use to tow them?
What do you call them? The army trucks.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, well, in New Guinea, could you tell us about your time in New Guinea?
Well, we left Townsville and went on a troop ship to Port Moresby, and we were flown from Port Moresby to Oro Bay, where we set up a defense.
Okay. What did you do there?
In Norway,
Yes.
we protected an airstrip.
Did you, were you ever under fire while you were there?
Yes.
Could you talk about that? How did you feel?
Well, we weren't really affected too much when we first landed there.
Mm-hmm.
It was when we loaded onto a troop ship to go up to, no, it wasn't a troop ship, it was LST, to go up to Binghamton. And at that time, we were caught out in the bay by 8 Japanese dive bombers. And with the anti-aircraft on the ships and the Air Corps, they were all downed.
Mm-hmm. Now, did your unit protect the ships at all?
Yes, we had 2 of our 40 millimeters on deck set up, and then 6 of our 50 caliber machine guns.
How did you, this was your first time under fire?
Yes.
How did you feel?
Well, a little confused.
Did your ship suffer any damage at all?
No.
All right, where did you, when you took this LST, where did you arrive then?
And Binghamton, New Guinea.
And what did you do there?
We set up to protect the combat engineers to build a forward area fighter strip.
Mm-hmm. Did the Japanese come in and try and bomb it often, or?
Not often.
Mm-hmm.
When we first landed there, it was just a lone plane that came over to bomb us, but they picked on a little ship that was pretty well armed, and the shore was lined with all types of fuel. If a bomb had hit that, it would have been disastrous.
Mm-hmm. How did you like your weapons? Did you like the 40 millimeter?
The 40 millimeter was a nice gun. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it was.
Did you ever have to service it often because of the climate or anything?
No, when we were set up, we used it to daily maintenance.
Mm-hmm. So you never had many malfunctions with it. It was pretty reliable.
It was a reliable gun. Yes, it was.
Okay. What was daily life like for you in this unit?
Well, it's hard to tell because we were in different locations.
Mm-hmm.
On the ship, we had to sleep where we could, and that time I was sleeping under an Army truck, and when we got to Houghtalen, we were assigned a position to put our anti-aircraft on, and then we were more or less semi-permanent area.
Mm-hmm. So you lived in like buildings rather than tents?
No, we had tents.
Oh, you still in tents? Okay. How many men to a tent? Were they large tents or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Okay. Did you ever have trouble with food or anything like that? Where you always have enough food?
And no, not to give the Army credit, I never had to go without a meal involuntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was K rations or C rations, but they did well.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of tropical diseases or anything?
Yes, malaria was rampant.
Did you contracted at all?
Yes, I had malaria twice over there and twice when I got home.
Okay, now you ended up, I noticed, in the Philippines also.
Yes.
How long were you on New Guinea?
Probably around 4 months.
Okay. So where did you go after New Guinea?
Philippines.
To the Philippines. How long were you in the Philippines?
Let's see, I just, anyone know?
Do you remember what year it was? It's in your book. You can refer to it. It's
Okay.
Now, while you're looking there, what were your assignments in the Philippines? Again, just defensive?
Defensive airstrips mostly. Fighter strips.
Did you have much contact with the Filipino people at all?
No. No, I first went over when we first went to the Philippines in Leyte. The Filipinos were very appreciative of us, and they kind of swarmed around us, and it was kind of worrisome. So what we did, we had about 10 men. So we had two different tents. We picked out a couple of Filipino boys and says, you're our house boys. Keep the rest of them away. So that worked out well.
Did you ever have any contact, well, not contact, but did you ever see MacArthur?
He drove by our gun pit one time.
Uh-huh. That was the only time you ever saw him?
Yes.
What did you think of him as an officer?
He was a good officer, but he was a glory grabber.
Mm-hmm.
He went by our gun pit in New Guinea. There was 5 jeeps, 2 ahead of his jeep and 2 behind. And he was there about an hour, and it came over the radio that he visited his forward area troops. Well, what he did, he went to a field hospital near us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I noticed you received a Bronze Star. Where did you receive that?
That was in New Guinea.
Mm-hmm. Do you recall the action that you received it for?
Just for the defense of New Guinea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long were you in the Philippines?
The Philippines and really know. Maybe I can find out here.
Okay.
Were you there when the war ended?
No. I was on my way home when the war ended. I was one day out of Seattle, Washington.
Uh-huh. What was that like? Was there a lot of cheering and excitement?
No, it was kind of somber.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember where you were and your reaction when you heard about the dropping of the atomic bombs?
I was on the water heading home.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone talk about that at all?
Well, yes, they were kind of surprised and wondering what the results would be.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember some incidences while you were in the service that were either pleasant memories that you had or from being in the service?
Well, I did meet some nice friends. I had nice friends there in the service. And when we were assigned an area to protect, we set up as comfortable as possible. And we had some nice positions on the beaches in the Philippines.
Did you ever stay in contact with any of the friends you made in the service?
Yes. But they have since died.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to see any USO shows while you were over there?
No.
No? Okay.
All right, when were you discharged?
Um,
That's probably on his application here too.
Okay, I have it here, August of 45, it said you were discharged.
you got it.
Okay. All right, after you left the service, did you use the GI Bill at all?
Yes, I did.
In what way did you use it?
I attended a plastic school on the West Coast, Los Angeles.
Did you ever use the 5220 Club?
That was
The $20 a week for 52 weeks?
It was like unemployment.
yes, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever join veterans organizations?
Yes, I belong to the
The Legion?
American Legion.
All right. Your unit, I noticed you have a reunion hat. Did your unit have many reunions?
Yes, they used to have about one every year. And because our outfit was formed from Buffalo National Guard. And so most of our boys were from Western New York. And therefore we were able to have a pretty complete reunion.
Oh, so the unit was basically, it was a National Guard unit out of Western New York.
It was.
Oh, okay. All right. What do you think, or how do you think your time in the service changed or affected your life?
Well, I matured. I was kind of young and green when I went into the service. Came out more mature.
Okay, now you have is that a unit history that you have with you?
Yes. Because our outfit was originally a National Guard outfit from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
The Erie County took it upon themselves to write a history of our outfit.
Could you hold that up? Is that now did any of you wear a patch like that?
This was not an official patch.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the boys drew it up.
Okay.
So was that something that was designed during the war or after?
Overseas, it was designed by one of the one
So
of the men.
did anyone wear a patch or anything
No.
for the unit, or that was
No.
just unofficial?
It was unofficial.
Now, is there a picture of you in there?
No.
Well,
Oh, okay.
you did have some pictures in there.
Yes, they did, but not of me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have a picture of me.
Yeah, you
Oh,
want,
okay.
hold that just like
If
that.
you hold it up in front of you. Now, do you remember where and when that was taken?
Oh,
Probably basic training.
it could be. I think when I was home on leave.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, did you have any other photographs or anything that you wanted to show?
I just had some write-ups on since our outfit was a Western New York outfit, we had reunions. Here's pictures of the boys that were organized a reunion in Camp Edwards.
So you had your reunions in out on Cape Cod then, or in Buffalo area?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your interview.
Oh,
I don't know, is there anything else that you wanted to add, or do you think we've...
no. I'm just sorry that most of our boys are gone now.
Mhm.
I had two best buddies and they're gone.
Were they from the Buffalo area?
One was, and one was from Binghamton area.
What were their names?
Well, Jack Headley and Howard Schiesel.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay.